I went from this
So today I want to show you 10 creative ideas on how you can level up your Instagram stories.
to this.
Hey guys, I'm Sam, the owner of socialsidekick.net. I'm honored to welcome you
In 30 days. And it's all because of a powerful 4-step strategy that includes a 30-day challenge, which will take any nervous rookie that's dreading to be on camera to looking like a seasoned pro in 30 days. So right now you're probably feeling stuck. You know you want to start doing video because of all of the opportunities that will come your way when you put yourself out there, but you feel a pit in your stomach even thinking about getting on camera. Or maybe you've been doing video for a while and you feel like you could improve your camera presence. Well, I was there too, or actually I'm pretty sure I was way worse. I'm a pretty introverted person and just the thought of appearing on camera used to make me sick. It was probably one of my biggest fears. I felt like a completely different person when I pressed record, so to be honest I felt like I was acting in some way. And I didn't just feel awkward, I looked awkward too. So every time I would hit record, I would completely freeze up. But I knew I wanted to create video to expand my reach. So after years of thinking about it, I finally gathered the courage, filmed and posted my first video. I remember that it took me hours to film a few sentences. There weren't any teleprompter apps back then, so I had a little paper with text next to my phone because I was too nervous to remember those few lines. I was really struggling, y'all. But then I came across a piece of advice from this guy who has been teaching public speaking for 40 years. His name is TJ Walker. He said that most people aren't born with the ability to speak in front of the camera. So all of the celebrities you see, politicians, journalists and big YouTubers, most of them were also awkward in the beginning and had to practice their way up to the point where they looked and felt comfortable in front of the camera. So this piece of advice gave me the motivation to set out a goal for myself to conquer this fear, and I started taking action to improve. The whole thing was way out of my comfort zone, but I was determined to do this. So I took a few public speaking courses, did a lot of practicing, exercises, and watched hundreds and hundreds of videos. I really took the hard road to figure this out. But not you, my friend, because in this video I'm about to spill everything I learned doing all of this research and practice, and it surprisingly all boils down to one thing: the BSMP strategy. This powerful 4-step strategy helped me go from the cringiest person to ever appear in front of the camera to now actually enjoying it, and it all happened in 30 days. And it can help you do the same. Alright, so let's start with the first step of this strategy, which solved the #1 problem most people have when they're speaking on camera. But it's also the easiest to fix. This simple change will instantly improve the way you look and feel on camera. So for most people, including huge YouTubers, it took a lot of time to realize this powerful thing and master it. And I made the same mistake too when I first started. So let's look at one of my videos from back when I first started and tell me if you notice what it is. You can comment down below.
What's up everybody, Social Sam here. So today I want to show you 10 creative ideas on how you can level up your Instagram stories.
I mean, aside from my spray tan abuse, did you notice anything wrong with it? Well, there are a few things wrong with this video, but the one thing that really stands out is that I look really stiff. I was so fixated on the words I was saying that I totally forgot to move my head, shoulders and hands. So most people get nervous and uncomfortable when they're speaking to a camera and they tighten up. So try to relax your head, your shoulders and your hands, and consciously move your body when you're speaking, because you're gonna look and even feel more relaxed when you do. So here's an exercise you can do to improve this. Watch yourself on video. So film a 30-second video with a phone of you sitting or standing in front of the camera and talking about something you like. Then watch yourself and look at the hand gestures, head movements and overall body language. And don't worry, I have a whole 30-day bootcamp with daily exercises prepared for you where we'll go over this in more detail. So the first step of this strategy is all about body language, which makes a huge difference when you're talking to a camera. But without this next piece of the puzzle, it's not going to work. So let's talk about the second step of this 4-step BSMP strategy. Alright, so let's compare one of my older videos to my newer one and focus mostly on talking.
If you're too lazy to create stories in other apps, then this video is perfect for you because you can do all of these tricks using Instagram only.
I've created more than 100 Instagram profile audits in my career, and I see people making the same mistakes over and over again. Notice how I talk in the first video versus the second one. You can barely hear me in the first one, right? And if you can, you've probably fallen asleep from how boring I sound. You see, it's one thing how you look on camera, but completely another how you sound. So speaking too consistently at the same speed and volume and not pausing naturally, it's giving a hostage being forced to read something on camera vibes, right? So this is really common with inexperienced speakers, but it's even harder to avoid if you're reading off of a teleprompter. And don't get me wrong, I love a good teleprompter, but mastering it is not as easy as you think. It often makes you look and sound even more stiff. So you have to decide between one of these two options. The first one is reading off of a teleprompter but practicing sounding and looking natural. And the second one is having an outline of your script only and practicing speaking to a camera without a word-for-word script. I usually mostly go with the teleprompter option though, mainly because English is not my first language and I usually just start babbling if I talk freely. It also takes me way less time to film and edit, but you have to decide which one's easier for you. But teleprompter or not, the main point here is that you have to try and mimic your natural speech, and that means that you can't speak with the same speed and tone all the time. You're going to have to talk a little bit faster sometimes slow it down a little bit, sometimes be a bit louder to make a point, and you also have to pause occasionally because that's what people do when they're just talking casually, right? So here's a powerful exercise you can do to really loosen up and speak more naturally. Pretend that you're a late night infomercial guru and talk with double the energy you normally think is comfortable. So really go crazy with it and then watch the video. Typically people are surprised because it doesn't look nearly as over-the-top and crazy as you might think. By doing this exercise, most people realize that they have to speak a little bit louder with a little bit more energy because camera takes your energy levels down a few notches. So here's a tip that works for me. I found that speeding up my video by 5 or 7% when editing makes me sound way more confident. I don't know why, but there's just something about a person that talks quickly that gives off the I know what I'm talking about vibe. And it's also more engaging, which will ramp up your watch times. Also, don't worry if you stumble over your words or make mistakes. You'll cut them right out. That's the beauty of editing. It's ridiculous how many mistakes I make, so let me show you an unedited clip of myself. Alright guys, so these are the biggest mistakes I see people I see people making in their Instagram profiles. So when you mess up, just pause for a second and keep going, or start a sentence from the beginning. You'll just cut out the mistakes and the pauses later on and no one will know. Alright, so now we have the body language down, the speech down, but if you think about it, these two are just technical things that both stem from your inner state. And it's going to be really hard to fix them without this next thing, which is the third step in our BSMP strategy. When I realized this next thing, it was like I had an epiphany and all of the pieces came together. So I realized that most of my and other people's fear of speaking in front of the camera boils down to this one thing: a fear of embarrassing yourself in front of people. So body language and awkward speech and all of these other technical things are secondary. And until you make some mindset shifts that will change how you feel within, you'll have a really hard time speaking on camera. So the two mindset shifts that helped me the most were knowing that I can film 100 times until I was completely happy with my video. I remember that this one really took the pressure off. So you don't have to post anything you don't like, and that's it. If it takes a whole weekend to film, it will take a whole weekend to film. And that's that. It's still progress, which definitely beats not doing it at all. That said, what helped me the most in the beginning was not creating time pressure when I was filming, which means I focused on one video per day and took all of the time I needed. There's nothing worse than trying to rush through a video because you'll end up messing up way more than usual. So the next mindset shift that helped me a lot was knowing that I can edit out any mistake I make. I already talked about this earlier, but you can literally make a million mistakes and cut them all out later. As long as you're able to word a sentence or two in one go, you're good. Everyone who's filming videos is making mistakes, so they're just a part of filming, nothing else. And also make sure that you feel good when filming, otherwise it will show. You have to feel your best, so whether that means doing your hair and makeup or putting on a nice outfit, whatever makes you feel like the best version of yourself. Alright, so now we got the body language, speech and mindset down. It will all come together with this fourth step of the strategy, which is the last piece of the puzzle, practicing. So here's where my powerful 30-day challenge with daily exercises comes in. Because the more you'll appear on camera, the better, even if you don't post what you film. So this challenge will only take you a few minutes each day, maybe an hour on some days, but I promise you that if you go through this, you're going to be able to speak to the camera confidently and look and feel like a pro. So the 30-day challenge is split into 4 weeks. We're going to start really small and easy and work our way to filming longer videos. Alright, so let's start with week 1. So on week 1, you're going to take your phone out every evening and talk about your day. Think about what you're going to say before you hit record. So start with 1 sentence on day 1, 2 sentences the next day, and so on until you get to 7 sentences on day 7. And don't worry about the lighting or how you look. We're not gonna post this anywhere. This is all about you getting used to being on camera. Alright, so let's move to week 2. So on week 2, you're going to talk to the camera in a similar way, but for 1 minute straight. You're going to do 3 takes each day, and then you're going to assess the videos. You can either create a short outline for these videos or even use a teleprompter. If you don't have one, find a teleprompter app in your phone. I really like this one because you can use it with any other app like Instagram, for example. So basically choose a technique you plan on using in the future. And make sure you're standing away from the camera so you'll be able to assess your body language too. So on the first day, talk about what you do. The second day, talk about your favorite hobby. The third day, talk about your family. The fourth day, talk about your friends. On the 5th day, talk about your pets. The 6th day, talk about your favorite food. And on the last day, talk about your passions. So here's a chart that will help you assess your speech and body language for first, second and third try. Don't forget to take a screenshot and save this for later. Alright, so let's jump to week 3. So now we're getting somewhere. This week we're gonna actually start posting stories. This will turn up the pressure a little bit because we're actually going to post. But don't worry, you're only going to say a few words on each story and continue explaining whatever it is we're trying to say with photo and text. Here's the list of all of the stories you're going to film this week. On day 1, just say hi to your followers and tell them that you're gonna take them behind the scenes. That's it. So say something like, "Hi guys, have you ever wondered what behind the scenes of X looks like? Well, check it out." Then post a few pics or videos without your face and explain what's on the clips with text. Easy, right? So I'm not gonna go through all of this because it will take too much time, but you can take a screenshot of the stories for the rest of the week here. Alright, so now we're done with week 3. So on week 4, we're gonna take the whole week to create a video that's a little bit longer and post it. It can either be a reel or a short few-minute YouTube video. So take day 1 to come up with the idea. Then next 2 days to do the scripting. On day 4, prepare by reading the script out loud for a few times. On 5th day, film the video, sentence by sentence. And then take 2 days to edit. So you're gonna have a full video ready to post by the end of this challenge. And remember, you don't have to be perfect before you start. No one was. All of the people you look up to were taking action and posting videos way before they started killing it on camera. They knew they had a lot to improve, but they just started and kept going anyway. You just don't see these videos because you usually notice these people when they're already big and have hundreds and hundreds of hours of filming under their belt. So just go for it. Make a video and then another one next week and another one next week, until through this process you'll slowly start improving. I was full of self-doubt here, but I did it anyway. And I'm so glad because conquering one of your biggest fears will give you so much confidence. So fight through the self-doubt because the faster you start posting, the faster you'll fail, the faster you'll learn, and the faster you'll win. Alright guys, so you got this. I'm rooting for you. Seriously, if I could do this, you can definitely do it too. So make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!